Please welcome your host, Mingo Mariano, con lo más caliente y lo más reciente. Only on the Mingo Mariano Podcast Show.
Hola, ¿qué onda? ¿Qué tal, mis amigos? It's Mingo Mariano debuting the very first podcast show right here on the World Wide Web, su servidor Mingo Mariano, and I'm really excited that our first guest has traveled so far north of San Antonio to come be here with us today and to talk about music and to talk about life in general. Ladies and gentlemen, the official first guest of the Mingo Mariano podcast show, con lo más caliente y lo más reciente. Aquí estamos con Marie. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Welcome back to the studio.
Very excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
And I'm really excited that you're here too. You know, we were talking about this before we started recording, but it's been almost a year to the day, 2 years to the day when we first met.
That's awesome.
And we're 3 years later.
I
2
know.
years or 3 years?
God, it's been 3 years.
3 years
when
later.
I first released Todo de Mi, it was 3 years ago.
And we're here again.
We sure are, and I'm excited to be here.
So tell us what's been going on with you. I know you've been super busy. We have a new CD to talk about. We have life to talk about.
We do have life to talk about.
We do.
It's been fun. I just got back from Vegas. Got to meet lots and lots of people from everywhere. Idaho, Michigan, McAllen. I mean, we had people from all states, from everywhere, and it was a pleasure being there, getting to meet everybody, and just overall the experience of interacting with everybody. And it was just amazing. It was awesome, and I can't wait for next year. Hopefully I'll be taking my band with me next year, and it'll be so much more awesome.
You know, I got to tell you, unfortunately, I've never had the chance to go to the Tejano convention in Las Vegas, but I plan to go in 2018.
You're coming. There's no doubt about it. I'll buy your ticket, and then we're just like installments.
But it just seems like it's getting bigger and bigger.
It is. And it was so amazing this year. There was a lot of big artists. We had Isabel Marie. I know they did a tribute with Pira Studio to Selena. With Electro Cumbia, I believe. There was Elida, there was Signo, and of course they had the Conjunto Fest going on, and of course Shelly's Showcase. So it was bigger and so much better this year, I think. And the water was kind of expensive, guys. Just putting that out there. It was like a little itty bitty bottle, no joke, $5. But I guess you're in Vegas, right?
No, but I'll drink from the llave, okay?
I even went outside and told one of the guys, I said, how about, because they were giving you ice for free in a cup. I said, well, I went and I took 2 for my soda because I love Coke. It's bad, but I love it. So I would go, and every time I would go and pour more ice, I would tell them, oh, I'm just going to let it melt because your water's so expensive. And they just looked at me. I'm like, I'm just kidding, guys. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Our friend to the show and my co-worker, Fanny Girl from TejanoNation.net, was out there representing Tejano Nation. And I understand you two had a chance to catch up as well.
We did. We had so much fun. We gave you a shout out. I was like, Mingo, you have to be here next year.
Next year.
So, yeah, it was fun. We did do a small interview, which I think it should be out maybe in a week or so,
yes.
I think is what she said yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to hear that as well. So it was just lots of fun. It was lots of fun. Every day it was like on the grind and it was just fun. I can't say anything else other than it was exciting to see everybody come together and just to be there for Tejano music.
You know, Tejano music is something that I've always said, it's in our blood. We grew up on it, and it's something that's going to stay with us forever. You yourself have been in the industry a little over
5 years.
5 years. And I got to tell you, when I first learned about Marie, I thought there was going to be this long history of Tejano music. But I will say you are the type of artist, or one of the artists, that just kind of jumped in and you started either sink or swim, and you started swimming. So how do you, first of all, how you got your start in Tejano music to compare to, say, someone who's been in the industry since they were fairly young, as in age 3 or 4?
I started singing since I was about 6 years old. I did do lots of talent shows. Of course, in high school, I was in mariachi. So it was in my blood. I did always love to sing. Of course, my uncle, Roel Martinez, who was in Roel Martinez and Heat, and then he joined Rodeo, and now he's with Texas or Tejano 281.
Yes.
And they're actually doing awesome. They just released their single as well, Agüita de Melón, with Wowie and David Lee. So shout out to them and Chris and all the guys. They're doing really, really awesome. But my uncle is one of my biggest inspirations. He first started with Shelly Lares. So he was Shelly Lares' backup vocalist. So me and my brother were itty bitty. I want to say we were about 6-7 years old, going to the shows, the shows. And back then it was a lot family oriented, that we'd have a lot at Rosedale, any parks or anywhere that my mom could take us. I mean, you name it, we were there. My dad is also, he was a promoter back in the day. So he promoted lots of groups. So when we would leave with my dad, it was all about music too. So then we'd go to the bailes. And so we grew up listening to music, listening to Elida, La Mafia, Ram Herrera, Emilio, and Selena, of course. And it was just something that it was pretty much in our veins and in our family. So it was just, of course, I grew up and I said, you know what, I really want to do this. It wasn't until I was about 23 that I said, you know what, I really, really want to do this. This is my chance. I think I'm just going to go for it. I've always wanted to do it. I really didn't feel that my family believed in me as much as I wanted them to. It was kind of like not a laughing joke or anything, but they just didn't believe enough in me to do it. So I kind of had to step out of my zone and out of my comfort zone, definitely, and kind of venture off on my own. And that's when I discovered that I could write also. I would write lots of stuff back then for my uncle, but nobody ever, again, really took me seriously. So the songs would just end up in a binder or on a piece of paper and probably end up thrown away somewhere. I wish I could find the songs now because I could definitely turn them into something awesome. Right. But who knows where they're at. I'd have to search, and I've moved like 3 or 4 times. So they're probably in the trash.
It's interesting because you just given us an insight of like an artist's life. You write your emotions, you have your binder and your piece of paper, and you just start writing and writing. I've asked this question before to several artists, especially songwriters, but what do you have to do, or what kind of mindset do you have to be in if you either are going through a bad relationship, or you're just simply having a bad day, or tal vez mañana where the damn guy couldn't even buy you a taco?
I love that song, let me tell you. I love that song. It's one of my favorite songs. And actually, we were listening to my album yesterday. And I was in the car and I was singing. And then I stopped. I said, who does this? I said, who just jams out to their own music, really excited in the car? I said, Di Marie does. But yeah, when I write, it's most definitely, I've heard them call me the Mexican Taylor Swift. I don't know if you've heard that. But I don't like it. No.
I'll take it.
I do write when I'm more down than anything else, when I'm having relationship problems. But I do feel that it comes out. It's like de-stressing. It's like you write down how you feel, exactly how you feel. And I think those are the best songs. I have written really happy songs, and those come out great too. So once I get in my zone, it has to be really, really quiet. I do go and I sit in a corner. I've even written songs in my mom's closet. I just like to be alone, and I have to be nobody could be there. And I've tried to do group writing or sessions, like writing sessions that people like to come together. And I realize that I am better on my own. I brainstorm better on my own. And I don't know how other writers write, but I think that by myself is best.
Yeah.
Because they're my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions. And I think that's the greatest thing. And you know what? If I ever decided to not do music anymore, as far as being on stage and pushing my music and, getting albums out or even singles, I think that I would just love to write for other people. I mean, and I do now. I mean, and Markel just released Todo de Mi, which we co-wrote. I've written with Gabe Zavala, with Velia and Juan Gonzalez. I've written for Ay, la niña, ¿cómo se llama? Her name is Anani. I don't know if it rhymes.
Okay.
She won, I think, on Shelly's Tejano, one of the Rising Stars showcase that she did, like American Idol. And she won, so I wrote for her, a little girl in Albuquerque.
So you're definitely expanding it with regards to writing music for other artists, and truly, let's be honest, that's where the bank is at. You know,
I believe so too. Yes, it is.
If you're just tuning in, Di Marie is in the studio for the first official Mingo Mariano podcast right here that you're listening, and I'm gonna play a Di Marie song. Tal vez mañana. You want to do it?
Mañana.
Let's do it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of Di Marie right here on the Mingo Mariano podcast show con lo más caliente
y lo más reciente.
Seas algo extraordinario, o tal vez un gran millonario, te podría aceptar. Exiges tanto, pero tú no das nada a cambio. Yo no sé por qué tú te crees tanto, que ni un taco me puedes comprar. Creí en ti, que eras bueno, que eso nunca fue así. Yo aprendí que el amor no se compra con dinero y decidí no fingir, no volver a equivocarme. Comprendí que algún día alguien pueda rescatar mi corazón. Tal vez mañana
Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at the Mingo Mariano Podcast, con lo más caliente y lo más reciente.
Welcome back to the very first Mingo Mariano podcast show con lo más caliente y lo más reciente.
Woohoo!
We just had some fun a little
We
earlier,
sure did.
right? Yeah. During the break, we stepped away for a bit, and it's getting hot in here because we
Yes,
just had
it
some
is.
tequila shots, right?
No, we didn't. What?
Hey, this is a podcast show, and it's my podcast show, so I can say whatever the hell I want.
You do it, boo. You go on with your bad self.
No, but again, thanks for being here. It really means a lot. Again, as you know, it's the first, and I will always remember it because you will be my first always.
Aww. I feel so special. No, I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me. What can I say? Thank you. Thank you so much. You know I got lots and lots of love for you.
Well, thank you so much, and the support is coming from me as well. So we just heard two of your songs. The one that's currently out right now is called off the new CD, and it's called Aquí Estoy.
Aquí estoy.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So aquí estoy. I had a friend.
Oh, it's always about the friend. I'm just saying, it's about a friend.
She did. She was going through some tough times, my friend. She calls me one night and she's like, "Girl, I just found out that my husband has been seeing someone else."
Oh no.
And she was crying and bawling, and you know, at the time I wasn't thinking, "Oh, let me write a song about you." I did call her up later on and I asked her, you know, "Is it okay? Nobody will ever know who I'm writing the song about, but can I write a song about this, your situation? Because I know many people have gone through this or can have experienced somebody unfaithful to them or that's lied to them, because really he lied to her and was really living a double life. So he was a married man and she was, so to speak, the Sancha. She didn't know she was the Sancha. And he was whining and dining her. Who knows on what time, like I said, he was living two lives.
Wow.
And she had no idea. So when she found out, and only because I think they saw them, somebody saw them somewhere, of course, they called the wife, they called her afterward. The wife called her and started talking to her and telling her, you know, this and that. And she was just like, what are you talking about? You know, she was kind of just caught off guard. And it was a horrible situation. She called me crying. She was like, what do I do? You know, I love this man and I'm so heartbroken. So that is how Aquí Estoy came about. So it's a tragic story about a woman that falls in love with a married man because he lied to her and she had no idea. And just at the end, at the end of the song, she finds out that he was married, and, you know, she has to let go and she's hurt and trying to find her way because she's been lied to and cheated on and betrayed. So
it's a great song, and I'm so sorry for your friend.
It's deep. It's a deep song.
It's a great song, but it reminds me of going back to traditional Tejano. What was the concept behind the whole arrangement and the song itself?
I really wanted it. God, it's been a little while that they've been telling me, because in my first album, Todo de Mi, there was no rancheras whatsoever. A lot of people consider Tejano to be rancheras, or it just depends. Everyone has their own opinion as to what Tejano is and what aspects it falls under. So I had no rancheras because ultimately I'm a cumbia writer. So all my first album, I think there's 2 ballads, I think, in the first one, and there was no ranchera. So in this album, I said, you know what, we're gonna change it up, try some different tactics, and I told my brother we're gonna go different with this one, and that's how Aquí Estoy and many other songs on the album came about. So we wanted to change it up a little bit for everybody, give them a little taste of the new and what they were asking for. In our reality, what they were asking for is rancheras, and so we decided we needed to give it to them.
Well, the CD itself has total of 10 tracks.
It does.
And I know that you wrote a few on there. Total, how many did you write?
I wrote myself 3 and co-wrote 2 on the album, so 5.
And it's available now on digital download.
It is available on iTunes, CD Baby, on all digital outlets. It's there.
And what's your favorite song on the album?
My favorite song. God, that's always such a hard question. I would have to say I don't have a favorite. I love them all. Yeah, I really do love them all. There is one that I wrote that I cried a lot over, and that song number 10 is entitled Ya no me importa, and that song has lots and lots of hurt in it. It's a ballad, and I love it. I love it because I wrote it in an hour at work. So hopefully my boss is not listening. No. I wrote it at work on a Friday.
Well, it's a great CD, and you can pick yours up now. And I got to tell you, just the whole production of the CD and the product, you know, I missed back in the day. Do you remember when we used to buy CDs and when you would open up the cover?
I still love.
And it would have the lyrics inside?
Yes. You know what? The next album that I do, there's another one. It's coming. I'm gonna put the lyrics in there just for you. How about that?
Thank you. And you can put credit on there too.
I will. I'll put a credit on there. Thank you to Mingo Mariano for suggesting that I do all the lyrics and make it a pamphlet. Very cool.
But again, continued success to you. Again, amazing CD. And let's do a little something. Why don't we do this? You know, to the people who are listening right now, and mind you, this podcast is going to be on TejanoNation.net. It's going to be distributed on YouTube and Facebook and everywhere. So for the first 3 people who send us a message on the Mingo Mariano Podcast Show Facebook fan page, just say, I heard the Di Marie interview, and I will send you your own autographed copy of Di Marie's latest album titulado La Culpable. How about that?
So yes, most definitely. Let's do it.
So if you're listening to this podcast right now, be sure to jump on social media and find the Mingo Mariano podcast show. Hit like and send us a message, and we will get you Di Marie's latest CD entitled La Culpable. Yes, yes. Let's get personal, okay?
Ooh.
Because you know, you
Inquiring
and I,
minds would like to know.
inquiring minds would like to know. You and I have been friends for about 3 years,
Yes.
and you know, you can trust me when it comes with anything.
I know. Okay, so you want to tell people about our relationship. That's what it is, right?
Our relationship, our professional relationship, or our relationship? No, but all kidding aside, tell us a little bit about Di the person. Is Di dating? Are you dating anyone? Do you have a ring on that finger?
I do have a ring on this finger. I wear it to keep everyone away. No, I'm I am currently in a relationship.
Really?
I am, yes. And I'm very
That's the
very
part you
happy,
forgot to tell
yes.
me.
Ooh, what, are you jealous?
Kind of.
I am in a relationship and I'm very, very happy. That's all I could say. What else ¿Qué más quieres?
Well, how happy are
¿Qué
you?
más quieres de mí? I'm very, very happy. It's been a long time coming. Of course, things get bumpy along the way. Written lots and lots of songs. And I guess the way I see it now is that you can't fight some things in life. I think God just rearranges things to make things work in the long run. Is as best as I can put it.
Right.
Going through trials and tribulations and back and forth, and it's been a really, really long and tough ride, and I'm happy to finally be stable and in a loving and caring relationship versus something that just wasn't good. And something, you know, it's kind of like you learn to appreciate someone so much more once you've been through something so difficult, and you go back and you start to analyze everything, and you finally learn to appreciate that person so much more. So
Right. You kind of sit there and think, well, was it me or was it them?
yeah.
And was it worth it?
Yeah, no, definitely not worth.
Yeah.
Definitely not worth it. And that's another song. No.
No, but you're right. You got to go through the good and the
Yeah,
bad
you
in order
do.
to
in order to find the good back again.
right.
And you have to, believe me, I mean, be through the nitty gritty. I mean, the darkest you could ever think of, and come back from that, and come back so much stronger and have so much more appreciation and gratitude. So that's where I'm at right now, is feeling that appreciation and gratifying that relationship, and learning how to treat it now and how to act, and just using all the experiences you've been through and just appreciating what you have now, ultimately.
Well, everybody's going to want to know who this person is. So is this person in the industry or not in the industry?
No,
No?
he is. And
He's-
he's not.
Okay. That's
He
good.
doesn't like to be in the music as much as I'd want him to be, and that's just that's just the way he is. He kind of stays out of the scene, out of mind, and out of sight. He doesn't like to be in the limelight, so to speak.
But this person knows how the industry works and things like
Oh
that.
boy, does he.
Okay.
Yes. And actually, he didn't want me to do music when I first started. He was probably my biggest downfall.
Wow.
Yeah, he was the one that was like, nope, you don't want to do this, because he'd been doing it for so long, and he knew what the road was going to lead to, and he didn't want me to do it at all. He was totally against it, and I went totally against him and said, I'm going to do it anyways. So it was, and that's where we kind of bumped heads and parted ways. So
Wow.
yep.
You forgot to tell me that. Because we've had late night conversations
We sure
about
have.
life. And you forgot to tell
We
me
sure have.
that.
Yeah.
No, all kidding aside, wish you the best with everything.
Thank you.
Again, if you're tuning in, Di Marie is in the studio for the very first official Mingo Mariano podcast. Woo! And we're going to talk about the new album right after this. We're going to talk about social media, and we're going to talk about Tejano music and the whole industry.
Let's do it.
And what Tejano is doing and what Tejano's not doing.
That's right.
So don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. We'll be back with more of Di Marie on the Mingo Mariano podcast show.
Con lo más caliente y lo más reciente.
Ow!
Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at the Mingo Mariano Podcast, con lo más caliente y lo más reciente.
Cómo amarme y eso duele cuando me llamas a decirme no me quieres. Qué tonta a rendirme a tus errores, a perdonarte a pesar de tus reproches. ¿Cómo te atreves a tratar de consolarme, tratar de hablarme y de nuevo despreciarme? No puedo más con tantas emociones. Mi corazón ya no responde a decepciones. Lo he decidido. Me he dado cuenta que tu amor es lo prohibido. Te di todo mi amor, lo destrozaste. Yo soy de la que siempre te burlaste. No mereces mi amor, solo fuiste un error. Yo te prometo que no vuelves a engañarme. Sé que en tus ojos solo soy culpable, que por mi culpa todo era un desastre, que nunca fui fiel, que siempre te engañé. Ya basta con tus tonterías, son mentiras. Voy a encontrar a quien amar y olvidar todo el daño que me hacías. Cómo amarme y eso duele cuando me llamas a decirme no me quieres. Qué tonta a rendirme a tus errores, a perdonarte a pesar de tus reproches. ¿Cómo te atreves a tratar de consolarme, tratar de hablarme y de nuevo despreciarme? No puedo más con tantas emociones. Mi corazón ya no responde a decepciones. Lo he decidido. Me he dado cuenta que tu amor es lo prohibido. Te di todo mi amor, lo destrozaste. Yo soy de la que siempre te burlaste. No mereces mi amor, solo fuiste un error. Yo te prometo que no vuelves a engañarme. Sé que en tus ojos solo soy culpable, que por mi culpa todo era un desastre, que nunca fui fiel, que siempre te engañé. Ya basta con tus tonterías, son mentiras. Voy a encontrar a quien amar y olvidar todo el daño que me hacías.
And let's be real.
Let's be real.
Let's be real. You know, social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, it could be a blessing, but it can also cause a lot of issues, you know?
I think it can if you allow it to.
Right.
It's really never been a problem for me because I don't feed into anything, I should say. I'm very to myself.
Right.
I'm very personal. And I do not post anything, none of my personal life. This Mingo Mariano podcast is the most personal you're going to come in contact with me. Well, no, not in contact with me, but you know what I mean as far as posting anything. I believe that everything that's posted on social media should always be positive.
Right.
You should always have a positive aspect in life. And I just feel that the positiveness is contagious. And if you send off those vibes, everybody else will be happy and vibe off of your vibe. So,
and that's how it should be. I got to tell you, that's the message that we're trying to send, positive vibes. And that's how it should be for an industry that we love. But then, how I mentioned before, there are people out there, some of them are even artists too, that will rant and go on a tangent about what the industry is doing, what the industry is not doing. And personally, and I'm speaking from personal experiences, it makes the public look at the artists in a different way. Do you agree?
I completely agree. I think that what you post, some people may think of it as this is who I am, and if you don't like me, well, sayonara, goodbye. But I don't feel that as an artist and as a public figure that you should be posting things that are derogatory or negative, because people don't want to see or hear negativity. I know I don't want to hear it. So I wouldn't ever post or feed into any type of negativity, because that's just personally not who I am, first of all. And I'm like a big mushy ball of love. In all honesty,
it's true. I can attest to that. Yes, I can. So again, if you're tuning in, we're in the studio here with Di Marie and talking about social media. And speaking of, where can people find Di Marie on social media?
I am so excited because right now my website, it's www.dimariemusic1.com, and it's under construction, but it should be done hopefully by next week or this week. I'm excited. I'm excited to see. Of course, I'm going to have my CDs for sale on there, my t-shirts, my koozies. I'm thinking about giving my posters away for free. So if you send me even a message, I will personally autograph a poster and mail it to you. So I'm excited about it.
You're also on Facebook and Twitter.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. My Instagram is Di Marie Music. You can find me on Twitter at Di Marie6. Of course, my Facebook is Di Marie Music. And snap me, because if you don't snap me, if you don't snap,
on Snap.
If you don't snap it, it didn't happen. Di Marie Music 1 on Snap. I'm a big snapper. I love snapping. I
think between you and Rick Valderrama.
Oh my God, Rick takes the cake. Let me tell you, he made T-shirts that actually have his Snap code. I think there's a few T-shirts that you could actually hold your phone against, and it'll pick up the code. So I think that's so cool. I leave it to Rick to think of that bright idea. So
a big hello to Rick Valderrama.
Yes, shout out to Mr. Enrique. I like to call him Enrique Valderrama. Yes. Well, very awesome.
Let's talk a little bit about, again, the Tejano music industry and how it's changed. And everyone has their own opinion on how it's changed and how it hasn't changed. I firmly believe that the industry has changed. And when I was out of the industry for quite some time and I came back in 2014-15, I was really blown away, because going to these big events, it wasn't what it was back in the 90s when I did radio in Corpus Christi. So as an artist like yourself who entered the market 3 to 4 years ago professionally, what's it like? What do you think it is? What do you think it is where we can get the industry back to what it once was? Or do you think it's already passed and we're going to continue at this pace from here on out?
That's such a difficult question. Growing up, only because I did get to see and get to live through what they call the golden Tejano era. It's just so hard, especially as a new artist, to try and come up from what it used to be, especially for established artists these days. I mean, Stephanie Montiel, Elida Reina y Avante, Signo. I mean, they're doing fairly amazing. But there's so much more that we can do, I believe. The sky's the limit, and it's just hard, and I don't know why. I know I've seen Gabe Zavala make posts before about why, and of course, I never chime into any of that because I'm very personal. Again, I don't want to say the wrong thing and people just bite my head off. But I don't know. I couldn't tell you. We'll see. Maybe when Joe Lopez comes back, maybe we want Joe.
Hashtag free Joe Lopez.
You don't know. I mean, I have no idea. I think after Selena left us, I think it just kind of stayed at a standstill, and it's been there, and we've been there just sitting there, and nothing's happened.
I agree with you because it sounds like a cliche almost, when Selena died, Tejano music died, but I think that's a really big part of it,
Yeah. I'm gonna be Rick right now and say Tejano ain't dead, baby. No. No, it's just really hard. It's really hard to compare, how it was in the 90s to how it is today. Right. It is very different. Artists are trying really, really hard. It's hard to, I think we need to grasp the younger generation's attention. If you go to any Tejano venues now, it is, they're older people, they're elder right. people. You see very, very younger people, they're just not attending. We're not grasping their attention. And when I record my songs, I make sure to go and ask my daughter or my son, like, what do you think of this song? Do you like it? And sometimes they'll tell me, Mom, I don't like it, it's boring. And right. I'm just like, God, just love it with me, guys, come on. But it's hard. I mean, it's a kind of a loss. It's kind of getting lost underneath everything in it.
One of my friends on Facebook and listeners of the show, and when I was with TejanosBest.com, we would message quite often and just talk about the industry and where it's at. And this one person who I'm not gonna name, said, I feel, Mingo, that part of it is Tejano is not what it once was because of the quality of the artist.
Definitely. I completely agree.
There are artists out there that will put a single out, and vocally they may not be there, stage presence they may not be there. What are your thoughts on that when you see a new artist but deep down inside vocally they're not there, or stage presence they're not there? What is your advice or for anyone like that?
I think that everyone needs to, I mean, I'm not one to go up to someone and say, hey, you know what, give up the dream. It's not, I mean, and everybody has their opinions on certain people. I can't say this person's better than this person, or this one doesn't have vocal ability. And I mean, who am I to judge anyone at all? Right.
But deep down inside,
deep down, I really wouldn't approach them. I wouldn't tell them, because I would hate for somebody to come up to me and tell me, Di, you're no good, or you really should give up. Like, you're not good at all. And it would hurt my feelings. And I'm just not that person to hurt anybody's feelings.
Right.
It's just, but I think other people that are more blunt should be the
like
ones. Like Mingo Mariano. No. No, I don't know. I just think that people should be a little more honest, and that it should be a little tougher to be able to record a single. Nowadays, anybody can just come off and say, hey, I want to be an artist. Let me put whatever I think is cool, and let me get in the studio and let me do this. And I mean, it takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication. It's not easy to do this. And I've been doing this again for 5 years, and it's been really, really difficult. I've made lots and lots of sacrifices. I almost feel like I can say I sacrificed my family for a dream that I wanted and loved. And sometimes, God, I'm gonna cry now. Yeah. It's hard. It's really, really hard, but I do it because I love it so much, and it's in me. It's just in my blood. I love to write and I love to sing, and I could never tell somebody that loves music just as much as I do, hey, you're not good enough. So if there's somebody else out there that has the guts or feels that person isn't good, then more power to you. But that wouldn't be me. Yeah.
Wow. That was a pretty deep moment.
I'm a softie.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. No, you bring up a lot of valid points when it comes to the industry. But again, I respect what you said, and you said it with a lot of heart and emotion. But again, I feel like each of us can do our part individually to make the onda what it once was.
I agree.
It's still there. We still have to do it.
We do, and we're going to keep doing it. And I've thought about it. I don't know. It's been recent, and I thought about, do I want to do this? Do I want to keep going? Should I keep going? Is it worth keeping going? You know, if that makes any sense at all. And I've started something that I like I said, I love to do. And if I ever stopped, like I said, I'd keep writing for other people because I love songwriting. And even if it's not me, if it's somebody else that's singing my song, it still means that much to me because those are my words and somebody else is going to feel and portray what I felt to other people. So to me, I almost get the same satisfaction writing as much as I get being on stage.
Off the top of your head, who is your favorite new artist today? Male.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know my uncle's always going to be my favorite.
Okay. New artist. Roel, he's a seasoned
Martinez. Yes, he is. He's been, of course, a long time established, but I would have to say I am his number one fan.
Well, Di, once again, we want to thank you for stopping by the studio today.
Thank you for having me.
Don't forget to go out and buy the new CD. It's entitled La Culpable. Has a total of 10 tracks, mis amigos, and it's available now. Di, tell everyone who they're listening to.
You're listening to the Mingo Mariano podcast show, Lo Más Caliente y Lo Más Reciente.
Thank you so much for tuning in, mis amigos. We'll talk to you soon. Muy buenas noches.
Adiós, amigos.
Culpa